coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey man, shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Out here, 33. 33 years of prison stores, pushing P, 24/7, 365. We pushing positive energy all the way down the line. Big love to everybody out here who support this movement. Everybody out here who with me in this fight, this pushing and pushing to save these young kings and queens. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We going harder in 2025. Like I say, for all bookings, I'm available for all bookings for high schools, junior high, colleges, detention centers, wherever it is. Contact J Hardcore. Let's get it going. Let's push this positive energy all the way down the line. Let's get it out here. Let's save all of them that we can save. Big love to everybody who support that. 5 years in prison. 5 years in prison. I believe after 5 years in prison, 5 years in the system, I believe everyone changes after 5 years. I'm talking about COs as well as convicts and inmates. After you've done 5 straight years in the system, I think you know your whole mindset changes because you have seen so much, you have experienced so much, you have witnessed so much that whoever you're gonna be in prison, it will reveal itself after 5 years. It will reveal itself after 5 years. You know, and I'm thinking in my mind, like 5 years, I know I came in 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. By 92, I hadn't been nowhere but Southampton receiving, the wall, that's crazy. Southampton receiving, the wall, Augusta, and Mecklenburg. Already. Already. I've been to 4 different institutions within my first 5 years. And each institution was different experiences, different things going on. You know, you was learning more and more as the situation unfolded. Uh, yeah, I can remember, man, just seeing so many things that I hadn't seen in real life, just seen on TV or just heard about or just talked about. And that stuff changes you, man. It gets in your system. It changes the way you think, the way you view things, and you understand you got a better perspective of what you got to do to survive this, this ride, you know, because you by 5 years you understand what's going on in there. You understand what's going on just as sure as grist as gross as you know what's going on. So it all depends on your mind frame of what you looking at. You looking at, I got this amount of time to do. I've done 5 years and I got to do, this 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, whatever the case may be, more. And then you got to ask yourself, and you usually do, can you do it? You know what I'm saying? Is it possible? You know, um, because like I say, your experiences create your life. Before the 5 years was up, I had already seen murder. I've already seen dudes get their manhood took. I've seen people get beat so close to death they, might as well been dead. I seen people get disfigured. I seen dudes get their face slashed open, their throat cut, thrown off of tears, uh, fight the police, police brutalizing people, um, dogs getting sick on people, um, electric shock shields being used on people, um, yeah, man, it was a vicious cycle, and your mental has to be right for you to sit down there and say to yourself, I can make it through this. I gotta make it through this. I'm gonna make it through this. You have to tell yourself that over and over and over again. And you got to think, coming from the streets, from an environment where even if you come from a violent city, even if you come from a violent neighborhood, certain things is just not, you're not gonna be witness to. You might hear about. And here you're gonna see these things. You're gonna be around these things, and more importantly, you're gonna realize these things can happen to you. And that takes a different mindset, man, to try to, to make it through. Before I even got out of jail, man, I had already been fighting and fighting in the jail. So I'm thinking in my mind, prison is gonna be somewhat like that. You gonna just have to knuckle up and rumble from time to time, because it's just so much disrespect in prison. And respect is the ultimate thing. Everybody got to get respect. If you don't get respect, everyone will disrespect you. So that was my mind frame going into prison. But once I got into prison and I started seeing, these dudes ain't fighting, man. They using weapons. They picking that Bethlehem up. They using locks in the sock. They got all of these makeshift weapons. So if you ain't never fought against a weapon, it's gonna scare you. If dudes tell you it ain't gonna scare you, they lying, because don't nobody want to take those type of injuries. Don't nobody want to take something vital where they might lose an eye, or they might, get a scar on their face, or get a colostomy bag, or don't nobody want to go through that. But all of these things are, real possibilities in prison. You know, and after that, man, you see that stuff, your whole mindset change. Even if you just a meek person, if you have got caught up into something on the street, they landed you in prison, and you just ain't never been a violent person, you might have got locked up for, I don't know, drunk driving, or you was with somebody with a crime, and then you got caught up because you a third party or whatever. You was with somebody who did a crime. You still going to prison. You know what I'm saying? You may not have never even been in a fight in your life, but in prison, you one. I think it's 100% chance you gonna have to fight. If just say on the craziest scale whatsoever, you gonna have to fight at least one time, which is, almost asinine. But let's just say that, and you ain't never been in a fight before. So when you fighting in prison, man, you fighting for your life, because dudes is trying to beat you, so severely, to set a message, to make a point to everyone who's looking and everyone who's around it. You know what I'm saying? You may not ever recover from that. You may not even recover from that psychologically or anything. You may not recover from that. And that's what set your mind frame. So the rest of your bit, you end up being timid. You end up being shy. You end up being taken advantage of, extorted, possibly, assaulted, you know what I'm saying, sexually. All types of things can happen to you. So you got to put your foot in the dirt, man, and decide what you're going to do and how you're going to do this bit. And I think within 5 years, you already got a grip on what's going to happen. And the same thing happened to the COs. You'll have COs that come up in them penitentiaries, man, and they ain't never worked in a prison before, and you'll see they got a good demeanor. They got a cool attitude. They ain't really trying to shove no rules down your throat. They trying to do their job. They trying to, provide for their family or whatever and go home. But if they stick around in this corrupt system and see what's going on, and they can see both sides. They can see what's going on with us, as well as they can see what's going on with the people that they work with. So once they start seeing that and they can accept that, and they stay around, you see that same CO within 5 years, they barking rules to you, they talking slick to you, they disrespecting you, because now they know. They know that this is the culture. They know this is what they can get away with. And they take full advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? I just seen some of the coolest, nicest COs turn into the most vicious Bammers that you ever want to see. Run into them 10 years later and they got ranked because they have learned that they can abuse, take advantage of you, and drag you, and take all of their frustrations and life out on you, and don't have to answer to nobody. you know. And you on the other end, you once you realize that you have absolutely no control over your life besides what you can do with this your own person. What you can accept, what you won't accept, what you will go for, what you won't. That's the only control you got, and you got consequences that come with that. Once you realize that, then you know who you are and you know what you're gonna do and what you won't do. But until then, you know, you just sitting around waiting and reacting to whatever happens in prison, whatever happens to you. And that's dangerous within itself. You have to know what you're gonna do, how far you willing to go, and what you gonna accept and what you ain't gonna accept. And I think you're gonna learn that within the first 5 years because you're gonna see so many things that's gonna help you decide how you're gonna do this. And me, I always looked at every situation and put myself in the situation. I'd be like, man, what if that happened? Or man, what if that happened? You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Or I look at it and I analyze. You know, I remember when, like I say, one of the first times I seen a dude get beat really, really, really bad. Man, it was on Mecklenburg, and man, I remember. I ain't gonna say his name, but I remember GK. When I saw GK, man, when I saw him get beat like that, I thought I literally felt for him because I had came through receiving this stuff with him. I felt like he was, I felt like he was on the verge of losing his life. You know, I felt like, and he was, because he was, you know, helpless and incapacitated. But the dude that was whooping him showed zero mercy for him. I mean, just flush hit after flush hit to a unconscious person. Just boom, 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 and then kick in the face. And I'm like, man, you know, and people just sitting around and they just watching. And you taking note of that, you seeing how people reacting, you seeing how people is not reacting, like not doing anything, not trying to stop it, not trying to get involved, nothing. You seeing the response time of the COs, you seeing all of that. And you gotta ask yourself, what if that's you? You know, so that's shaping your mind, that's shaping your mentality, that's fueling your anger because it's like, you know, you don't want that to happen to you, but what are you gonna do to stop it from happening to you? You know, so I can remember seeing that. I can remember, you know, seeing the first time I saw somebody get hit with that Bethlehem, you know, and the reaction of the pain, the yell, the scream, the holler, and they take off running and there's nowhere to go. You trapped on the yard, you can't get off, and this dude is in high pursuit of you, trying to inflict more wounds on you, man. You know, and it's like, man, oh man. So I'm seeing all this stuff, man, and it's like it's like surreal to you, you know, but it's real because it's right here. And this is stuff that you just seen on TV. Now you seeing it in real life. It's a great, great, great difference, man. When you, it's hard to explain, but to see something that you see on TV and it can affect you so much. It is a movie and you know it's really not real, but you still get these reactions, you still get these emotions like, oh wow. Now you take that and you put it in real life and you know this is not a movie. This is real pain. This is real blood. This is real life and death. That's different, man. That's different. And I saw how he was running, trying to get away from that knife, trying to, you know, and pleading, and dude was just in high pursuit. And I looked in his eyes and I could see he meant business. He meant if I catch you, I'm gonna stab you until you're not moving no more. You know, and that was like, oh man, you know, and yeah, yeah. So it's like just it's just insane, man. And to see, like I said, to go back to seeing that first murder, you know, in the wall when I seen dude just get stabbed like that, and I seen him gargling in his own blood, and I seen him trying to get up, trying to, you know, find himself, trying to get some strength enough just to stand up. If he would have stood up, I don't even know what he would have did or what could he do, but he couldn't. You know what I'm saying? And he laid right there and he lost his life. And everybody moved around him like it won't nothing going on. Like this ain't no dead body right here. Like this ain't a pool of blood right here. Like that ain't just happened. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, what type of world is this? You know what I'm saying? What type of world is this where, you know, literally human life means nothing to nobody but you. But your life. That's the only person that's going to care about your life in prison is you. And you got to say to yourself, what am I willing to do to stay alive? You're going to have to answer these questions within 5 years, if not before then. But I'm just giving 5 years as a cap. Because by 5 years, you done seen it all. You done heard it all. What you ain't seen, somebody done told you. You heard it happen on this compound. You heard it happen in the other building. You heard this happen in the other part. You know? So it's crazy, man. It was crazy then. And just thinking about it now, it was just so crazy, you know. And it was more to come. You know what I'm saying? It was riots to come. It was it was it was like melees to come. It was like cliques fighting against cliques to come. It was like, you know, 3 and 4 dudes running down on dudes, one dude with Bethlehem's and just chopping them up. It was all of that to come, man. That I hadn't even seen yet, hadn't even experienced, but I had experienced enough already to know that this ain't it. This ain't it. You know, and it's a crazy thing when people, you know, you get a lot of people that choose to take their life in there because of what they got. They know what they got to endure. They've been in there. They've seen it. So when people on the outside judge, or even people on the inside judge say, man, oh man, he was a coward, oh, he killed himself. You don't know what he had in his tank. You don't know what he seen that he knew he had to endure. You don't know if he really felt like it was worth it to him. Some people, it don't feel like that. It don't feel like that I can live like this every day just to stay alive. Some people don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you from experience, that's a hard decision to make. To choose to live like this just to stay alive. Especially if you're dealing in a situation like me with life sentences, you don't even know if you're going to get out. So you saying I got to choose to live like this just to stay alive, not even knowing if I will ever get a chance to get away from this. So you got to choose that life for the rest of your life just to be alive. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't accomplishing nothing. You ain't just to be alive, man. So yeah, man, it's real deal in there, man. It's the real deal, man. When you see things in real life and it's real blood, it's real life, it's real consequences, it's real death, it's real pain, it's real, you know, everything is just real, you know. And you stuck. You just stuck. So you gotta make a decision, man. What am I going to do and what am I willing to do? And I think you're gonna have to make that decision within 5 years. And a lot of people choose to take their life, man. A lot of people choose to submit to other people's will, you know, become a boy or become somebody who pay taxes, or somebody who pay, you know what I'm saying, to keep from, you know, extortion bills, somebody who pay for protection, you know what I'm saying, somebody who gonna just start telling the police, somebody who gonna check in the PC. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make all of these decisions, man. You gotta make all of these decisions. And you got young people coming into prison 18, 17, 16, 15, 19. And they ain't never had to make these type of decisions. So it's overwhelming to them. You know, it's overwhelming to them. I seen some dudes come in and they young like that, and they went with the TV narrative and the old movie narrative, like, I ain't going for nothing, the first person, I'm just gonna take off. I seen them do that and get slaughtered. And get slaughtered. Because they won't prepare for it. It sounds good in theory. It sounds good verbally, out loud. But in reality, somebody going to push back to that. Ain't nobody going to keep their hands in their pocket while you trying to do something to them. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going for that. And just like all these young people that's coming into prison and they heard these stories, you got to do this, you got to do that. You think that people already in prison don't know you done heard them stories? You think they ain't heard them stories? You think they ain't not prepared for you to buck? They not prepared for you to come in there and try to establish yourself? Man, it's all written there already. They ready for all of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, them 5 years you get that under your belt, man. You probably, whatever your mentality is after that 5 years will probably be your mentality for the rest of your bit. Whether you're gonna be soft or whether you're gonna go hard in the paint, or you know, that's just what it's gonna be. But by then you have understood and have been educated enough to know that it's a different world right here. Different type of animals, different type of beasts. And you in the jungle, man, and the law of the jungle is bite or be bitten. You know, and you will have to answer that. You know, you will have to answer that, man. So it's just crazy, man. But you know, like I say, it's just my thought process right now. I'm just thinking out loud. You know, I know it ain't your traditional video, but it's informative. And especially for these young people, pay attention to what I'm saying, man, because you do not want to answer these questions. You do not want to be in this position. Trust me when I tell you, on my good word, this ain't where you want to be at. So if you out here, man, take heed, man, and stay out here, man. Make good decisions, man. Find something that you can do. Find something that will, you know, make you some money and that you like doing, that you can excel in, that you can, you know, accelerate in, that you can, you know, profit off of. But man, make sure it's something that ain't gonna put you in harm's way to go to prison. You know, real talk. It'll change your life, man, and it just might take your life as well. So, anyway, y'all talk to me in the comments. I talk back, man. TBP Nation, stand up, big love, blessings and blessings upon blessings. Who to all the people who support me, to all the people who saw fit to hit that GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is still in full effect. We have not even put a dent, like talking about, in our goal. But let's go, man. Let's get this thing on the big screen, man. Let's try to reach as many people as possible in 2025. Let's get this movie out there. Everybody who's supporting, I appreciate you. Everybody who not, I appreciate you too. Let's go. Big love. TBP Nation. Stand up. Be effective. Be effective in trying to help somebody, man. You know, it's going to make you feel good. Promise you that, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. Duck them hooks, man. They out there, man. You know, peace, love. We gone.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky Man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality. You know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.